If you are a hairstylist or salon owner and you're having struggles with marketing yourself and knowing exactly just what steps you need to do in order to strategize your business and your marketing tactics, your reach, getting the right clients in your chair, being consistent in your business, then trust me, I have run the gamut. I've been in this industry for 22 years and look no further, because today we are going to talk just about efficiency in your business and just what you need to have clarity-wise in order to get those concepts to fruition. So my name is Ambrosia Carey. I am a hairstylist and salon owner in Portland, Oregon, and I'm also a marketing expert in the salon industry. So I can talk to you specifically about marketing yourself as a hairstylist and salon owner. I was able to 3 times my generation and profitability in the salon, and I did it in a very short amount of time, and I want to show you just how I did it as well. Some of it starts with mindset and some of it starts with tactics. So today we're going to talk specifically about clarity and just how you can make those building blocks in order to create a stronger story and just to create a better vision around what it is that you're trying to get to. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Welcome everyone to Efficiency of Success. I'm going to hang out with Anna Manukian today, and she'll introduce herself in just a second, but thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys get to walk away with some useful tools for today. And if anything, we want you to walk away feeling empowered and feeling like you can kind of organize your time a little more efficiently and your finances. So I'm Ambrosia Carey. I'm a hairstylist, salon owner, and business coach on a mission to empower others to find success while reducing overwhelm. I'm a classic Virgo, ambivert, and consider coffee a fourth meal. And up next is Anna.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm an industry educator. I've been, in many different segments of this industry, including behind the chair. I was a vice president of education for one of the largest brands in the US. And I am a financial educator and financial advisor. Throughout my career, one of the things that I've always seen is the fact that we are not taught how to make our money work for us. We're taught early on how to work really hard for our money, but the opportunity to really become more efficient and make small changes today and understand what are the products that we can invest in, how do we make our money work for us, truly sets us up for success in the long term. And so my mission is to simplify finance, because it does not have to be a complicated world. Listen, I think if you can do color correction and fix some weird hair color that clients do themselves at home, you can understand finances. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. And that was so well put. So today we're going to be discussing a few things, mainly just like clarity and how to spend your time efficiently. We're going to talk a little bit about timing and just how to organize that time management, sort of that sort of thing. And then lastly, we're going to dip into finance, which Anna's going to kind of steer the ship on that one. So we're going to kind of elaborate and discuss that a little bit more. When it comes to clarity, there are so many different avenues that we can go down, but I really want to focus on the clarity of just understanding like how our time gets broken down a little bit. And these numbers are kind of interesting because this is something that I've been doing extensive research on, and I've just kind of pulled these numbers from various places to see kind of how we process information. So what I want to do is just discuss a little bit about how we can do, a lot of clarity comes specifically from our thoughts. So if you look at this pie chart, for example, a majority of it is coming from our thoughts, but they start at that point, right? So it's like the way that we think interacts the way that we take action, which also dictates how we maneuver our communication, which the outcome comes to efficiency. And then the final outcome is reduced stress levels. So walking through that chart and just thinking about kind of where you sit in this pie, it helps to really break down or understand where things are actually starting and the results that you're feeling, how you can come full circle, and you can kind of make some little adjustments here and there, and how you actually do have control over that thought pattern process and the outcome that you kind of see. So everything kind of comes full circle. So, with clarity in your thoughts, there are a couple of things I think that are really crucial in doing these types of things, because it's really hard to really see what's happening when it's happening at that time. It's so much easier in hindsight when we're looking back into the past and we're like, oh, maybe I could have done this differently, or oh, I wish I would have said this. So sometimes you do have to create space for yourself, and creating space is such an arbitrary thing because it means something different for everyone. Some people, they need to have like their alone time together. Some people, they need to surround themselves with their top 5 people. Some people need to listen to like music or take a class, or, so there's so many different ways that you can create space for yourself, but doing it is really important, and making sure that you're like actually carving that time out and getting in that habit of doing it. I'm sure Anna can agree with that. Like we juggle a million things. And if you throw one more thing in there, then we're just going to find a way to juggle a million and one. So I think once you get in the habit of juggling it, you have to create space to set things aside and come back to it later. And you can always be good at juggling, but you have to make sure that part of that juggling act is taking a little bit of time to take breaks, because you can't juggle forever. And then the second component comes down to reducing that fogginess. So again, that's the reason why these are separated in like 2 different spaces, because reducing fogginess can mean one thing for Anna and it could be another thing for me. So, and it has to do, it's hand in hand, like creating space and reducing fogginess. Both of those things, you can't get one without the other. So my piece of advice for you, and what I've found has learned for me, or has helped me, and what's helped others that I've worked with, is you can narrow it down. Just think of it as a funnel, and it helps you funnel down to your basic core values. When you can set up your core values, then you can build boundaries upon that. So these are kind of the tools that you can start to utilize in order to get down that funnel in a way that makes you feel like you've arrived at something on purpose, and you'll have more clarity behind those thoughts. So obviously those all lead to actions. Remember that pie wheel. So if we go back to that pie wheel again, then it's leading into actions now. So leading into actions, that can mean like your call to action. It can also mean that you can be more clear and just creating that content that you're doing, or the context of your voice, the context of your message. And then it also helps you with your consistency. So these are the types of things that I utilize when it comes to helping stylists out with finding like their niche, their brand, their voice, what helps them, get excited or elated for the day. I think sometimes we can feel a little trapped in certain thoughts because we feel like we've pigeonholed ourselves, and you can absolutely work yourself out of it. But sometimes when you lose clarity, that's when things become foggy again. So it kind of brings you back again up to the top where we're talking about creating that space and reducing fogginess. And then you can take these actions and you can actually put them into play. So another part of clarity is also going to help you with your communication. The clearer you are in your vision, the clearer you are in your thoughts, the clearer you are in your actions, then the clearer you're going to be in the way that you communicate with others. The cool thing about communication is that when you become really clear in your communication voice, then you attract people who also communicate in that style. So then it becomes, it's like a little less challenging. I'm not saying that it won't be challenging. We're in an industry where communication is about 80% of the importance. 20% is your technical abilities. So being able to communicate really efficiently is going to help you with your success rates behind the salon, running a salon, even just, I would say even with your finances. Do you agree with that? I mean, because communicating, obviously, you're not communicating just with other people, but it's with yourself too. It's like understanding that long-term effect.
There's so much around communication. There's, in the clarity of communication. I mean, one of the things as it relates directly to finances is, there's a couple of different things, right? There's the clarity of effective consultations, so that if you're looking at the base exchange of the monetary exchange for the service and the time that you're providing, making sure that you're clear on the consultation that you're giving, that you're clear with the goals that you have around your finances. And then one of the big ones that, we'll talk about later is making sure that what you're charging, what you're giving yourself an annual raise for, how you're communicating that to your guests, is also really important, because that, time over time, year after year, you can actually be making a lot less money if you're not sure how to clearly communicate your cost increases, your boundaries with your clients, your continued exceptional consultations. These are things that will cost you money in the long run if you're not able to communicate them clearly and effectively. And that also means, that means outward communication with your clients. It also means inward communication of how you speak to yourself around these things, to make sure that there's a shared reality between what you're thinking and what they're hearing you say.
I love the piece about the inward communication, because I think sometimes we forget that our inner voice is really going to dictate how our day is going to go, how we're going to hold our stress levels, and just how we're going to effectively move through that day too. So I'm so glad that you talked about that part of it. So I also feel like clarity leads to attraction. And, I was kind of saying like attract likes, or when you communicate more efficiently, then you're able to draw people in that communicate similarly to you. And so simply put, in a nutshell, that the things that we're drawn to are also the things that are drawn to us in return. So it's kind of like that law of attraction piece in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for listening in, you guys. And I just want to extend an invitation to you to come back next week and listen to part 2 of this segment. We're going to be talking more about the components of building your business, and we're going to be stepping into the financial end of things with my girlfriend, Anna Manukian, who actually runs financial tips within a business success range. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and click that bell so you can get the notification as well. And I have a lot more hairstyling tips coming your way for hairstylists. I'm going to be spending a little bit more time on this platform. So I'm really excited to grow with you and to give you a little bit of free guidance and observations and advice. Just keep reaching for those goals, dreaming big, and taking action, guys. And I will see you next week.